Titanium.
You're big Gwalla Des shit, man. Y'all stop playing with me. Go ahead and follow me on IG at GWALLADES. We about to get this shit on Unplugged. You're
I'm tryna rock out, little bitch, I'm tryna pop out. Stay home with your mama if you ain't tryna pull the Glock out.
Alright, y'all, we got episode 13 of Unplugged.
here.
We checking in with Gwalla Des today.
Big
So,
Gwalla Des shit, man.
tell us where your name came from and when you started rapping, like what age, and I guess what age you are now, so we can kind of tell the time difference.
Alright, so I'm 21. I started rapping and singing, songwriting, all that shit when I was 7 years old. I've been doing it ever since. I just never recorded a real song. And I got my name, Gwalla. Gwalla was a little team. Columbia had like multiple teams, RKP, Smash Team, all that. So Gwalla was one of them, and I was first lady of that shit. So everybody just knew me as Gwalla Des, and I just kept the name just because I'm already known as that shit.
Alright. And so, what made you, because you said 7 years old, what made you decide, like, alright, it's time to finally, like, put out a track, like, it's time to get serious with this shit?
So I had wrote Can't Sleep. That was my first single I dropped. Y'all make sure y'all go stream that. I put a little acapella snippet of it on Facebook and Instagram, and that shit went up. Like, everybody was like, hurry up and record it, got hella views. So I just was like, alright, fuck it, might as well go ahead and take it serious, win an A. And then after that song went up, I went ahead and just took it serious for real.
Alright. So you've been rapping for a minute. Is there any time in your career where you were just like, you know what, this shit might not work? Like, because everybody has like them doubts of those inside of the head thoughts. Like, from the outside looking in, the listeners are like, they just get the music, they consume it, they like it, they rock with it. But on the inside, as an artist, you got to deal with this day in and day out. Like, if you really gonna take it serious, so like, has there ever been a point where you were just like, you know what, like I just can't fucking do this shit no more? You have
it was
up
actually
and down
right
days.
before. I couldn't get a song wrote. I couldn't like get no hits in my head, so I was about to say fuck it. But then I wrote Can't Sleep, and I was like, alright, that must mean I better get back to it because that shit went up.
Alright. And so, where are you from? You from Columbia?
I'm from Columbia, but I moved back and forth between Connecticut and South Carolina, so I kind of like got two hometown type shit. Yeah, up north.
So that's different for people down here, cause like
Facts.
that's up north, right?
Yeah, it's
So
right
people
next to
down
New
here,
York.
people look up, they're like, we're gonna go New York. They think New York, Chicago, them states, but Connecticut, that's different. Like what is it like being in between them two spaces?
Shit, Connecticut ain't nothing but drugs and shooting up day. Down here it's country niggas shooting and drugs down here. It ain't really much different, like, except the accents for real, like, and then it's just more dangerous shit down here now, like the South getting crazier, like, for real. But it ain't much of a difference, like, food, that's the biggest difference for real.
Yeah, we got the soul food down here.
Yeah, you got like Jamaican shit and Italian food up there. It's a whole lot of different cultures up there for real.
So which one do you prefer?
Honestly, I like the South just cause like it's hot, but up north is really better. Like cost wise, you make more money up there, there's more opportunities up there. Like it's way more up north than it is down south. Down south, you just out here living stuck. Like that's why niggas always dying in the South, cause we stuck down here. Ain't no moving for real.
Yeah, like what you gonna do? Go to Florida? It's hot down there too.
Facts, but it's more, and it's even more shootings down there. Like it ain't much.
Like the further south you go, like
the worse it get. Facts.
Fucking, even if you leave the U.S., go to Haiti, like the fuck, now you in Haiti. Like.
Yeah, basically.
All right. So, how do you feel about the South Carolina music scenes right now?
You said the South Carolina music scene?
Yeah, like, well, the scene, like, overall, like, because there's a lot of...
Oh, like all the new artists coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, on one point, it's a lot of copycat shit going on out here. Like, you got people that's stealing people's sound. You got the niggas stealing people's names. Like, you know, there's a lot of copycat shit. Then, again, Columbia got a lot of potential and a lot of talent in here. We just not looked at because of all the stupid shit that's going on inside of Columbia. Everybody rather shoot each other and hate on each other than pull everybody up. So we ain't gonna never make it. Like, that's the reason why we never made it for real.
Yeah, I always feel that. I had this conversation like often in interviews. It's like, I'm gonna keep saying it. Like the comparison, like in Atlanta, they want to help each other. Like
yeah, they do. Everybody get together in the room.
pass the brick, like just pass the torch, like pass the mic.
Facts.
But down here it's like, oh,
it's my mic.
Buddy going up.
Nobody else have anything.
Yeah, like buddy going up. Oh shit, let's plot on the light, and it don't even gotta be that way.
Yeah, like my when I dropped Can't Sleep, they reported my YouTube, so I couldn't post no music videos and stuff on it. So I had to go get other people to drop my shit for me, like. And that was my first song. That's hating shit already. Like that's what I be saying. You're not gonna make it if you wanna be for real.
I do feel like if you really want to make it, like you might be able to do a little bit here, but if you ever get to that point where you really start to see the potential, I feel like you have to move.
Facts, you gotta move.
So to jump into that, if you were to move out of the Carolinas, well, South Carolina, where would you move?
Either Atlanta or Charlotte, for real. That's the music scene. And then Houston. Houston is another place you can make it.
All right. So I asked this question to every South Carolina artist that comes in. And the answer is completely up to you. I mean, some people feel like I influenced the answer, but out of all the artists that have came and are to come in South Carolina, who do you feel like is a South Carolina like legend on the music scene? It could be rapper, producer.
Rapper. I feel like DZ really could have went up and made it for real if he didn't get locked up. Like he was taking off. He was taking the Met with him for real. That was one person that went up before he got locked up. And honestly, Uncle Sam have been plugged in with a lot of people, and a lot of people just don't know, like for real. But that man, he done work with people that older than me, people that's younger than me. He done work with so many people. He done influenced a lot of people. Like he got me started for real. I can really say that he made me want to keep doing it. So that like them two people, I would say is Columbia legends for real.
For sure. Shout out to Uncle Sam.
Shout out to him, facts.
Free DZ. I think DZ's coming home in a couple months, so I feel like Carolina's really gonna turn up. With that again, I just hope he can stay out of trouble this time, honestly. Because DZ seemed like he just get out, go back in, get out, go back in. But anyway, we're going to move past that. What is the hardest part about being a rapper in South Carolina?
It's the hate, for real. Like, you always got to have somebody saying, oh, she ain't like that, or she ain't living like that, she can't rap, or you got somebody else, she sound like this person, she just copying them. Like, it's always going to be some hating ass shit inside of Columbia, for real. That's the worst part about it.
Alright, and this is just a theoretical question. I like to throw theoreticals out there. So, if you could sign any label in the game, this is talking about past tense to current. So we talking Death Row to the new 1017. If there's any label that you can see yourself signing to, what would it be?
It'd be Sniper Gang, High Bridge, or 4PF. Like, they're my favorite three labels, for real.
I feel like people be sleeping on High Bridge.
They sleep on High Bridge. A Boogie's my favorite artist overall. He can go from rapping about hood shit to talking about a love song. Like, I love A Boogie. I feel like High Bridge is a very underrated label.
Yeah. All right. And so, is there any artists in South Carolina that you want to work with, as far as for like a feature, or there's a lot of people out here now doing like collab tapes, like anybody specifically, like I want to work with them?
My two main ones, Black Zack and Cusco the Fool. I fuck with both of them like hard. I would love a feature from one of them. It don't matter which one. I mess with both of them.
All right. And so, I want to ask this question because our show Unplugged is all about networking. So whenever we do anything, it's about helping the next man or putting the next person on. So this year we strictly focus on South Carolina artists. But I do want to ask this question. So you record a song, it's hard as hell. You walk in the studio like, yeah, I'm about to shoot a video to this. Who is your go-to South Carolina-based videographer?
I started with visuals by Frosty. Yeah, Frosty hard.
Shout out to Frosty.
Frosty is very hard. I'm gonna say she moving fast.
We watched the grind. Like I watched Frosty. Like I don't know her personally, but I watched Frosty as far as like her social media pages. Like go from just picking up a camera to now she really gets.
She doing it for real. Like, yeah, I fuck with Frosty.
Like Frosty literally, I think Frosty literally has done, like quit her day job and just strictly shoots videos, and that's how she pay her bills. That's big. All right. So how do you like performing? Cause you perform a lot. Like you hit the stages. Like that's how I really heard about you was through the homie JB.
Yeah, JB hard. I shout out to him. He done put me on a lot of shows.
JB will put you on a lot of shows, and it's really about networking. That's how we kind of work off.
Yeah. I
talk to JB. JB talk to me. We keep each other in the loop. Like if you see a new artist and I ain't seen him yet, we might talk about it. Bring him in. Sure. Let's see. So when you first started performing, when was your first performance?
My first performance was, I want to say like maybe 3-4 months ago, and I was at a show at Dance South that JB hosted.
Yeah.
And after that, he put me on the Nick the Blow show the next day, and I've been doing shows ever since.
Now, was it any type of like stage fright?
It was stage fright the first 2 shows. Well, no, I ain't even gonna say the first 2, because that second one I turned up. It was really like the first one I just had to get them jitters out, like. But that stage performance just came to me so easily. Like I like that shit. It make me feel good. Like that's the best part about doing this music shit for real.
All right. So anything you could pass down to an artist on the rise that maybe about to perform their first show, like anything that you could pass on.
Look in the back of the room. Don't stare at the people. Like you can make it seem like you making eye contact, but that shit. As soon as you make eye contact with one person, you freeze up, like you gonna forget something. Like just make a spot that you gonna stare at in that room and just keep finding that spot while you moving your head and walking around.
Yeah, that's one thing for me as a DJ, like artist, please don't stand in one spot. Like,
move, like make sure
like
y'all
just
walk
move
around.
Like don't just sit there like.
You ain't gotta dance, just as long as you going from left to right and you making sure you pointing at everybody and they getting engaged. That's all you gotta do. I promise you.
All right, now let's talk about recording wise. Do you prefer to record at home? In like a home studio?
I like to be in the booth. I ain't gonna
studio.
Like in the house, it make me feel like I ain't doing it for real. Like it make me feel like I'm doing a play song. Like when I'm in the booth, I feel like I'm on some real serious, like I'm an artist type shit. Like that shit make me feel nice in the booth.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And so I want to deep dive into, because I like to see like artists' like overall personality and background, like growing up. Not current day, but growing up, like the Jeezys, the Gucci, T.I., all of that. Who was your favorite, like your top 3 favorite artists coming up?
Ooh, coming up. I want to say...
It was crazy.
Wiz Khalifa.
Wiz? That's different.
J. Cole. And... I say Jeezy. Like I really like. I used to listen to Gucci Mane a lot when I was little, but everybody want to forget Jeezy songs was the ones we was really listening to, and we was listening to Gucci on the side. Like man, I really fuck with
I was a big Gucci fan.
We all was Gucci fans, but like Jeezy, like when you play Gucci, the Jeezy, you gonna be like, I know that song more from Jeezy than you gonna do with Gucci. Like I still heard songs from back in the day with Gucci I ain't never hear. But I promise y'all I heard all. Yeah, and when I watched that verses, I was like, damn, like I know way more Jeezy songs than I do Gucci, and I really like Gucci. Like you never noticed that shit.
I'm not gonna lie, I watched that shit strictly for the beef.
They wasn't trying to be. Well, they was low key, but
no,
they was trying
Gucci
to
was trying to be.
Yeah, it was really Gucci.
Jeezy was like, no, I'm a grown man. I'm not gonna do this shit. Jeezy was like, I mean, Gucci was like, fuck it, nigga. Let's argue. I'm ready to go back to jail. Like, I feel like.
Oh, and we can't forget about Soulja Boy. In fact, Soulja Boy
big
put on for everybody. I ain't gonna count. That nigga made a whole new music scene for all of us. And Chief Keef, he started a whole new sound. Like,
Chief Keef started a whole drill.
Them two, yeah.
I feel like he started a whole drill movement, but like it's crazy now to see like New York's drill movement like blowing up like crazy.
Thanks.
Like I would hate to be in either one of them places right now. If you're living none of the boroughs in New York, I definitely would not live in Chicago.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
All right, so let's see. So as far as crafting music, are you a writer or are you gonna go to the studio and just freestyle it out?
I like to sit down and write, like, cause I feel like with freestyles, like you ain't got time to think about what you're saying. You just throwing something out there. Like I want to sit down and think, make sure all my shit makes sense, make sure I'm speaking to them, like saying at least one real thing in that song. Like you're not gonna get that every time out of a freestyle. You just trying to hurry up and make it sound good. I like to sit down and write my songs.
All right, and so I feel like you got to think about this if you're a rapper or artist at the end of the day. If you were in a room with 10 other rappers, like 10 other artists or whatever, what is that one quality that makes you stand out versus the rest? Because a lot of people, and I feel like everybody should think about this, especially when you go into like showcases or even if there's a label hosting a showcase and there's 20 artists going up there, you got to think like, what is my defining factor? Like, what makes me different?
I would say like my energy, like my confidence for real. I come in and I look at the crowd and I tell myself I'm gonna perform better than everybody in this bitch. Like for real, like I gotta tell myself that to give myself that confidence. I walk on the stage like I'm a famous person. Like that's how I make my shit look different. They be like, oh, this girl performed like she done made it already. Stuff like I done heard that shit before. Like I try to make sure I'm performing like I done did this before and I'm a vet and they the little niggas in the game. Like that's the only thing I feel like that make me different for real.
All right, and I do want to ask you this. You don't have to go too much into it if you don't want to. Cause I asked Ty the same thing. With both of y'all being artists, you being in a relationship with an artist, what is it like as far as like on the competitive end? Does it make you more competitive, or do you guys kind of bounce off of each other? Like, 'cause I feel like it could be a plus and a minus. Like some people can't live with the fact of seeing the other person do better, but some people literally are just great critics. Like they can give you the information, but at the end of the day, some people just be like, I can't take it. Like criticism.
We honestly we try to keep each other up. Like it's a little competition. There's always gonna be competition inside of music, but we try to really like criticize each other, tell each other this song ain't good or this song sounds good. Make sure you put this in it. We try to give each other pointers on our music for real.
All right, and so you've been performing for a minute. We already talked about that. As far as, because this is just another theoretical question, you had to go on tour right now with any artist. Like, because a lot of people, like, I like listening to music, but going to a show is a total different vibe. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you had to go on tour with any major artist right now, who would it be?
Shiesty. Who Shiesty Facts. I feel like any show that he do right now gonna go up. Like, everybody in love with Shiesty right now. I feel like that'd be a great event.
I'm not gonna lie, I like Pooh Shiesty. This might sound hateful, though. I like Pooh Shiesty, but, like, I don't know. I like to get into artists who like put on a real like show. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I can't. I understand that. He don't do too much. Like, you gotta engage the crowd and stuff, you know. But that's just because Shiesty be on the drugs. That nigga be high as hell when he be on that stage. That nigga just walking back and forth. You can see it all in his face. Like, I feel like you gotta be a little sober to put some real like energy into it. You be fucked up. You
like on a different spectrum. Like going to like, what is it, like a Travis Scott show, where it's just like packed out, like they got all
rock stars, you know.
Yeah, I like shit like that. Like,
but that be like Kodak shows, like how he be doing that mosh pit. Like I like that shit. That shit get you up too.
Like the baby shows.
The baby be turned. Thanks.
All right. So who is your go-to producer?
Bubba Splurge. I go to him all the time. Him or YNN Neat. If not, then I'm going to Sam. Like if I can't, cause Sam always been like my first go-to and my backup person. If I can't get to Sam, I'm going to Bubba or YNN Neat.
All right. And who is your go-to producer? Oh, I mean not go-to producer. What has changed with you since your first song?
My first song, I did that one out of like emotion and feelings. I was going through my breakup and I was just like really just out of it for real. Like now I'm in it more. I'm more positive. I got better shit around me, so I'm just making more happy vibe music, like party music and stuff. But that first EP I dropped, that shit was sad. Like it was a whole EP of sad songs.
All right, so we gotta talk about the elephant in the room. Good old coronavirus. So how has the pandemic changed you? Like, how has the pandemic affected you as an artist?
I wouldn't really say it's affected me because nobody is taking it serious. They all still going to shows. Shows still be back. So it really ain't like, it ain't making no difference for real. Like, people gonna go outside, they're gonna go outside no matter what.
You can't stop nobody.
Thanks.
Just wear a mask.
That's why I'm outside.
We outside all summer 2021.
Thanks.
Well, all right. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
That's all we got today.
We plugged in on Unplugged. Stop playing with them. Go fuck with them. Follow me on IG, Gwalla Des. I got a tape dropping soon. June 20th, first day of summer gonna be out. Rock Out just dropped single. Y'all go ahead and stream that and the music video. Beat this shit. Stop playing with me.
Unplugged 24/7.